Whitetail hunting is a game of strategy. A mature whitetail buck is a true survivor, with senses finely tuned to detect even the smallest change in his environment. He stays alive by moving carefully, using cover, and avoiding anything that feels unnatural or out of place. But even the most cautious buck has weaknesses. His natural instincts, his need for food, the drive to reproduce, and the urge to establish dominance, can all be used to influence his movement. Today, we break down the 9 key psychological and biological triggers that can pull a buck out of thick cover and guide him directly into your shooting lane. By understanding how deer think, behave, and survive, you move beyond relying on luck and start hunting with purpose and consistency. This is where basic woodsmanship ends, and advanced strategy begins, turning your stand into a place bucks naturally want to visit. But before proceed in video, please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. Number 1. The science of the mock scrape. A mock scrape is one of the most powerful tools in hunter's arsenal because it targets a buck's territorial nature. In the whitetail world, a scrape is a social hub. It is a place where every deer in the neighborhood stops to check in. To create a successful mock scrape, you are essentially planting a fake social media post that a dominant buck feels compelled to answer. You should find a spot with an overhanging branch, often called a licking branch, about 5 feet off the ground. Using a sturdy stick or a hand tool, clear away all the leaves and debris until you reach the dark, damp soil. It is vital to remain scent-free during this process, so wear rubber gloves and boots. Once the earth is exposed, you apply high-quality buck or doe urine to the soil. When a buck travels through the area and sees that fresh earth, his brain registers a rival intruder. His instinct will be to freshen that scrape with his own scent to reclaim his territory. By placing this scrape 20 yards from your stand in a clear opening, you have created a reason for him to stop and stand perfectly broadside. Number 2. Engineering the licking branch. While many hunters focus on the dirt, the true headquarters of deer communication is the licking branch hanging above the scrape. Bucks use their preorbital glands, located near their eyes, and their forehead glands to leave a specific chemical signature on these branches. If your ideal stand location does not have a natural overhanging limb, you can easily engineer one. Cut a branch from a different part of the woods, ideally an oak or a fruit tree, and wire it securely to a tree in your shooting lane. You can take this a step further by applying a forehead gland lure to the tip of the branch. This creates a permanent social landmark. Because deer are curious and social creatures, they will go out of their way to sniff and rub a communal licking branch. Over time, this becomes a habitual stop on their daily route. This trick is effective all year long, helping you pattern a buck during the early season and keeping him coming back throughout the rut. Number 3. Using a scent drag as an invisible tether. The scent drag is an active tactic designed to bring a buck to you when he is traveling a nearby trail but is not yet in range. This involves soaking a piece of felt or a specialized cloth in a potent lure, such as estrus or tarsal scent, and dragging it behind you as you walk to your stand. You are essentially laying down a fresh trail that says a receptive doe or a rival buck just walked this path. The key to this trick is the exit strategy. Do not stop the drag directly under your tree. Instead, loop it around your stand and terminate the trail about 20 yards past you in a clear shooting lane. When a buck crosses this path, his nose will hit that concentrated line of scent, and he will often follow it with his head down, focused entirely on the trail. This provides you with the perfect opportunity to draw your bow or shoulder your rifle while his attention is locked on the ground. Number 4. The art of tactical blind calling. Blind calling is the practice of throwing out social sounds even when you do not see a deer. The woods can be incredibly quiet, and sometimes a buck is bedded just out of sight, waiting for a reason to move. A series of soft, rhythmic grunts can pique his curiosity. The secret here is subtlety. A mature buck is a skeptic. If he hears loud, aggressive grunting every 10 minutes, he will likely recognize the pattern as unnatural and avoid the area. Instead, try a single, short social grunt every 30 to 40 minutes. This mimics a buck that is simply wandering through the timber, looking for company or food. It is a non-threatening sound that invites a nearby deer to stand up and investigate. This tactic works best in thick cover where the buck cannot see long distances and must move closer to find the source of the sound. Number 5. Deploying the aggressive snort wheeze. When social curiosity is not enough, you must appeal to a buck's ego. The snort wheeze is the most aggressive vocalization a whitetail makes. It is a challenge to a fight. This sound is produced when a buck is about to defend his territory or a doe from a rival. If you see a mature buck that is moving away from you or seems indifferent to your grunts, the snort wheeze can be the only thing that turns him around. It is a sharp, two-part sound followed by a long hiss. To a dominant buck, this is a personal insult. Often, he will stop in his tracks, bristle his hair, and march directly toward your position to confront the challenger. Use this trick sparingly, as it can scare away younger, less dominant bucks, but for the king of the woods, it is often the ultimate trigger. Number 6. The hidden water hole advantage. In many areas, water is a more predictable draw than food, especially during the early season or the high-energy days of the rut. If you hunt an area that is far from a creek or pond, you can pull bucks to your stand by providing a private water source. This does not have to be a major construction project. A buried 50-gallon stock tank or a simple basin can serve as a micro water hole. Bucks need to hydrate frequently, especially after consuming dry acorns or during the heat of a midday chase. By placing a water source in a secluded, high-cover transition zone near your stand, you are offering a buck a safe place to drink during daylight hours. This effectively shrinks his world, focusing his daily routine onto a single, reliable point that you control. Number 7. Visual confirmation with a decoy. A buck often relies on his eyes to confirm what his nose and ears are telling him. If he hears your grunts and smells your lures but sees nothing but empty woods, he may hang up out of range. A decoy provides the visual proof he needs to commit to the final approach. A small, young buck decoy is often more effective than a giant trophy decoy because it represents a manageable challenge. The placement of the decoy is critical. Always face it toward your stand. Bucks almost always approach a rival head-on to establish dominance. By facing the decoy toward you, the buck will circle around to its front, which naturally turns him broadside to your position. Ensure the decoy is completely scent-free, as any trace of human odor will end the hunt instantly. Number 8. Timing the post-cold front surge. One of the most effective tricks for pulling bucks into the open is not a physical tool, but a mastery of timing. Deer movement is heavily influenced by barometric pressure and temperature. When a significant cold front passes through, bringing a drop in temperature and clearing skies, whitetails feel a biological urge to feed and move to maintain their metabolic rates. The first high-pressure morning after a storm is often the best time to see mature bucks on their feet. They are hungry, they are cold, and they are motivated to move. By timing your hunts to coincide with these weather shifts, you are hunting when the deer's own biology is forcing him to be more active. This trick increases the likelihood that a buck will respond to your calls and scents because he is already in a high-energy, mobile state of mind. Number 9. Structural manipulation through hinge cutting. If you have the ability to manage the land you hunt, you can physically guide a buck to your stand through hinge cutting. This involves partially cutting through low-value trees so they fall over but stays alive, creating a living hedge. You can use these fallen trees to block off wide, open areas and force the deer to travel through a narrow opening directly in front of your stand. Deer are naturally lazy and will take the path of least resistance. If you make it difficult for them to walk far away from your position, but leave a clear, easy path right past your ladder, they will choose the easy path almost every time. This is a permanent way to dictate deer's movement and ensure they enter your shooting lane exactly where you want them. At the end, I request, please share this video and comment your hunting secrets. Thanks for watching.